Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Shimakaze. Now I've been playing the Shima a little bit more recently, kind of mix it up a little bit. I've been playing a lot of battleships, so going the opposite direction and playing a destroyer is a little bit of fun sometimes. And honestly there's no other destroyer that's more fun than the Shima, because I mean it does Shima things. But with that being said, this is going to be a different kind of replay. This is going to showcase some hard decisions having to be made in what is only described as a hopeless game. We've all had them. We've all been in those games where no matter what you do, you're screwed. And yeah, this is not going to be any different. Now, that being said, we end up making this into a hell of a game. Sorry for the language. But it's still never had a chance. There's only one moment in this that you could make an argument could have won the game. And we'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, we're going to push in. We're on Haven. Our team's actually going to split up relatively decently here. Got a couple of people left. We got a person spawning mid with me and then a bunch of people on the right. And we have some spots early on that we're able to detect people and get them hopefully shot at early, which is what you always want. Now, here, I'm kind of worried that we're going to run into destroyers because we know that they have a couple of nasty destroyers. One in particular, I think, is a Lo Yang, and I can't fight a Lo Yang on even grounds. Like, the man has an extended sonar and can spot me from smoke, and he has also the guns of a Benson, so can't have that. That's not a good fight for me. But that being said, we fire off one set of torpedoes over to the right, and now we're going to go away. You can see they are, in fact, pinging the Lo Yang on the opposite side. So that gives me a little bit of extra, what's the word I'm looking for? Security, I guess. It gives me a better feeling of security on what I should be doing here. And being as far away from that Lo Yang is a good thing. So I come out here to help my team. You can see we've got a Prinz Eugen here, we've got a Vanguard, we've got a Gross Kurfürst here. We're just trying to do the best that we can to help our team win this side. Our battleships are already turning around. They may be broadside for no reason. It's hard to tell. But we're going to try to get out here and attack this Vanguard while he's very close range. This could be an easy kill for us. And unfortunately for me, like, things just go downhill from here. Like, I can't describe it as anything other than my team going downhill from here. We kill the Prinz Eugen. Huge kill. Dev Strike got him. We actually, I think, hit this Gross Kurfürst with a torpedo as well, which is huge. And then, like I said, huge start. Like, you can't ask for a better start than that, except that my team just gets absolutely obliterated from here out. Like, my team literally gets obliterated. It's the only way to describe it. Vanguard is starting to think about pushing out, so I'm going to go ahead and set him up to hopefully get rid of him. We launched the torpedoes on. You can see he's accelerating, and you can see I'm so confident that Vanguard is dead that I go ahead and save the next set of torpedoes for the Gross Kurfürst. I'm like, one salvo of torpedoes should be plenty to kill this Vanguard. But then the Vanguard kind of just stops and goes forward and doesn't keep reversing out in front of everybody, unfortunately. And I didn't see that coming. And the Gross Kurfürst sails straight away. Now, I've got a Shimakaze spotted. And again, you guys know me. This is like, I will take this fight every single time. If you put a Shima versus me in a Shima, I will fight a Shima in a Shima any day of the week. Because 9 times out of 10, they look to torp you rather than using their guns. And you get such an advantage in that gunfight that they just can't win it. So, unfortunately, my battleship buddies have all left. I have a cruiser, I have a battleship. One battleship's already dead, unfortunately. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do. So, when I realize that I'm not getting any help, and I also realize that their enemy team is shooting at me, then chasing the Shima is not going to end in my favor. You can see we dodged the torpedoes. Now, I am still chasing the Shima. Make no mistake here. Like I said, I don't like to let Shimas live. If you give me the opportunity, I will hunt you down and I will make you suffer. That is what I will do. Why? Because it is the team play. May not be the most glorious play. As you can see, I'm passing on a whole lot of damage right now because of this. But the worst part is we've already lost one destroyer, we've lost a cruiser, we lost a battleship, we've literally lost a third of our team in the first 4 minutes of this match. That's unacceptable. People have got to stop throwing their ships away inside of 3 minutes. Sure, there are games where you just can't avoid it, but it's rare for that to happen. And you can see I get into a fight with the Shima again. Again, we knew this was going to be a thing. A bad shot by me, not leading him enough. Something that I get into trouble with a little bit with my DDs is I always expect the shells to be faster, but then we start getting shot at by the secondaries and the main guns of the Gross Occur first. I have to disengage. He's got help. I don't. I can't win that fight. Not likely anyway. So we're going to go ahead, just break contact, get away. There's no reason to maintain that fight. So because of that, we need to start looking at our next attack. So we've got this Vanguard here. He's kind of on the edge of what we can hit. So we're just going to try to go for a wide area that we can potentially torp. And we even torp for the slowdown, anticipating him slowing down and trying to avoid torps it. You know, I'm doing everything that I can. Now look at the positioning on my team. The right side got completely wiped. There's nobody there. I've got a couple of battleships on my side that are pushing against a Gross Occur first, a Vanguard, and a Shima. Now, this battleship that's right here, chasing this Vanguard, has to recognize that there is a Shima out here. I had him spotted for so long. Why is he pushing, chasing these battleships out here? This is not a good play. You're only going to put yourself in harm's way of Shima torpedoes. And I can't stay there with you. Now, I got torps, and it looks pretty solid on that frickin' Vanguard. And all it takes is 1 or 2 hits, and he's toast. And, there's the 1 hit that we need. And took all of his health. He's now a 1-shot kill for pretty much any battleship. Vanguards are very easy to do damage to. Now, here's the moment where I was saying this game may have been saved. It's not a guarantee, but it may have been saved. Our Vladdy took torpedoes from the Shima, and he is now very low health and is going... you know, he's not long for this world. Let's just put it that way. Hopefully he can kill the Vanguard in the process. But if I had gone to the enemy base right now, if that is the path that I chose, if I went straight to the enemy base, there is a chance, a very small chance, because their destroyers likely would have came back to counter me. But there is a very small chance that I get into the enemy base and I win the match right now. That is not the decision that I make. And that is the only thing that could have won this game for my team. My team completely threw. And I honestly was not expecting them to fold as hard as they did. Like I said, this Vladdy tunnel visioned himself, got himself into trouble. He's going out chasing a Vanguard and a Gross Occur first. He ends up getting the kill on the Vanguard, because we managed to do some serious damage to him. But here, again, is a moment where I could have gone to the Bravo cap, or to the enemy cap, and tried to cap. And I didn't do it. Instead, I recognize that the enemy is headed to our base. And not just one enemy, but all of them are heading to our base. Which means I don't have a choice. I simply have to go back and defend the base at this point. It's too late. If I go into the base now, we lose the match because they get more than one person in the base. So I make the decision to go back to the base and defend, knowing full well that this is a lost cause at this point. The odds that I am able to turn this around and even make it competitive, slim and none. Our aircraft carriers keeping himself in a position where he can easily be destroyed instead of moving around with the teammates that he has. This is something that I've called out multiple times too in the past, is aircraft carriers, you got to be more aware as we get the big hit and what should have been a depth strike on the Gross Occur first. But we're up to 125,000 damage. But you have to be aware in a aircraft carrier just like everything else. And here's another moment. You can see the hesitation in my mind. I'm like, I could go to the base right now, but I realized that it's too late. It is too late to go to the base at this point. They are at our cap. If I get into the base, both of their DDs jump on my base, we lose. And again, our carrier is in a position where he's going to get detected, and he's got nowhere to go. He's not trying to maneuver. He's not trying to keep himself alive and affect the game late game, which could have come in real handy. So instead, we have a battleship left out on an island with a Shimakaze, a second battleship left on an island with a Shimakaze, a Gross Occur first who's kiting away with the help of a aircraft carrier for the enemy, Parseval, and we get an implacable. And our carrier is literally about to die. Like, there's not a whole lot he can do. He is reversing now, I think. I think it's too little too late. You can see everybody is starting to go for him. We know that the Bismarck here is out of our range, but this Iowa is absolutely begging for it. And you can see I really want to shoot there, but I don't want to lose my torpedoes into those two islands. So rather than shoot my torpedoes early, I decide to wait as our Shimakaze on the enemy team wrecks our Gross occur first. Again, this comes back to shoot destroyers if they're spotted. It is that simple. But this Iowa, we're going to line him up. We're baiting this guy in so hard. This guy is chasing damage. He's the guy in the back. He's not expecting this to happen at all. And there's the Lo Yang that we knew was coming. And he's out there chasing and lighting up the battle or the aircraft carrier, so you know darn well that he's going to have that aircraft carrier dead shortly. And again, Iowa, you gotta keep your head on a swivel, my dude. I know this was the last thing you expected, but you know when there's a Shima still alive, you've got to stop sailing in straight lines. Even if you've never been attacked with torpedoes at any point in the match, you got to remember that it's a possibility. And this man walks right into an entire wall of skill head first and gets absolutely massacred. And that takes us up to 191,000 damage. Now, again, there's nothing I can do here. All I can do is try to fight and continue to get something out of this. If I'm not going to be able to win the match, at least try my best to do something to make everybody miserable. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily running away like a lot of people do. A lot of people will run in this situation and do nothing. I'm always looking for damage. You can see what I'm doing. There's a battleship that was last spotted in this direction that I'm really, really hoping that I can catch coming through that gap. I'll have torpedoes up shortly, so I'm hoping that I can get rid of him. But unfortunately, that's not what happens. And he actually doubles back. And they have a carrier player that actually knows what he's doing and is actually going to come hunt me down. And unfortunately, I have no way to turn off my AA, so he's going to have an easy time of finding me because as soon as he gets anywhere near me, my guns start firing off and he just follows that right to me and gets me spotted. Now, unfortunately, he gets me spotted. There's a battleship out to my right, which is the Bismarck. There's the battleship I was hoping to catch on the left. And then, of course, the Lo Yang is close quarters, so I can't just sit in my smoke screen either. The destroyer is nearby. So I start thinking about my next move, and I'm looking at the Bismarck. I'm like, okay, can I catch this Bismarck potentially? He's changing what he's doing. He's kind of beelining straight for me here. So I'm going to do what I usually do, which is just kind of spread out everything. Instead of throwing everything all down one pipe, we're just going to spread them out. See if we can't catch somebody. As we spot the Brandenburg again, who's now facing away. We switch back over to the Bismarck. He's now coming towards us a little bit. And we take the guns back, or the torps back towards the back. And again, the carrier doing a heck of a job. He's trying to... We've slipped out of the smoke, but again, he follows my AA right to me. This is a huge problem on World of Warships Legends. You cannot turn your AA off in a destroyer. So the carrier knows exactly where you're at. All he has to do is get close enough to trigger the AA, and then he can follow that right to you. Now, Brandenburg takes a shot at us. Bismarck takes a shot at us. I'm looking at the Bismarck. I'm like, man, I might be able to catch him with a torp or two. It looks pretty solid. And unfortunately, that is not what happens. He finds a small gap and slips through it. Lo Yang, we're able to keep on the outside of our range here. But at this point, the game's over. There's not a whole lot I can do. These guys, there's just no way that I can pull this back. And their carrier's not going to stop harassing me. He's already got some more torpedo bombers heading towards me. I don't have torpedoes. So at this point, I just say screw it. And I accept my fate as this is going to be the end of me one way or the other. But I don't want the carrier to be the guy to do it. So he might spot me, but I'm going to put myself in a position where they can just get rid of me at this point. I'm not going to make it easy, obviously. If I can avoid these guys and get some more damage, I'm going to. And you can see I'm trying to turn out, trying to give myself a position where I'm not going to get obliterated by these torpedoes. And we do, in fact, slip the torpedoes. Again, I'm not going to let a carrier kill me. If they kill me in their ships, fine. I don't care. But the carrier's not going to be the one to kill me. I refuse. But that was a solid game. Again, Not a game that you expect, but those are the kind of games that you have once in a while, and you just do the best you can in them. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.